Yo. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Meb here.
And this is Leonis 22.
And today we're doing something quite different for everybody here. As you guys notice, my friend Leonis is here joining me. We're going to start a new show for YouTube. We don't know how the success of the show is going to be. We're still going to do it because this is something that we've discussed for quite some time that we wanted to do. And the show's going to be called The Discussion, where we're going to talk about various topics in gaming and other media media outlets like comic books, anime, and stuff like that. But as of right now, we're going to tackle gaming at the moment. Um, the first subject that we're going to talk about in gaming is pro gaming. How what we think of pro gaming, the competitive scene of pro gaming, and the positive and negative effects of pro gaming and things like that. So I'm going to start by asking you, Leonis, a question. Very simple question. Um, what does it mean to be a pro in video games? Like, what does it mean to be a professional, in your words?
Well, I guess for me is just being really good at the games. Like the back and the forth, the whole game in and out, pretty much. And I guess from there, you go and you can like beat pretty much anybody out there. And well, that's pretty much it for me. Just being really good at the game, the
Now,
games, or whatever.
now, do
Yeah.
you think there's people that are professional that play the game but don't play it in, like, let's say a pro circuit, like MLG kind of thing? Or like, do you see that like when you play games online?
Oh, sure. I believe there's a lot of people who are like really really good but not known or not in those main circuits. Just I guess they just play for fun like mostly like I do. Like they get really good at it but don't go anywhere with it. There's a lot of players I've met like that.
Right. But do you think? But do you consider? But that's. But I mean, I see what you're saying that they're really good at the game because they obviously love the game so much.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't consider them professionals. I would consider them really good players in the game because, I mean, in my eyes, a professional or a pro player is a person that plays a game, like you said, breaks it down to the T and gets paid for it. Like he's getting paid to play the game. Now, for instance, like let's say a player that's playing a game, like for example, let's give Street Fighter. Someone plays Street Fighter on a fun level, but he's really good at the game, but he doesn't go to tournaments. He's not. I mean, he's pro, but not really pro. Like he's not
Oh,
paid for that.
I get what you're saying. A professional as
Yeah,
opposed he's an expert as opposed to professional. Okay, I
yeah.
get what you see now. I get what you're saying now.
But
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, there are like, what I mean, I'm sure there's thousands of great players out there that play various different kinds of games, and they're good in their own right. But you know, people, tend to realize they go, "Oh, I'm pro, man. I'm that pro." I mean, like, not really. If you're not getting paid for it, if you're not getting sponsored by somebody that's taking an interest in you, I really don't consider you a professional. And there's a lot of people out there, on YouTube that be like, you read the comments and stuff, "Oh, I could beat this nigga up real good." And actually you're not. You're just jealous because this guy has reached a certain standard in his life that he's happy with. Like, he's good at this game and he's making money of it. And you're just hating on it because that's not you and you're envious of that. Which, people need to stop on hating on people like that. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I think they're misusing the word. They must have mistaken the word pro like how I just mistaken of what you were talking about.
yeah,
Like I think they mean to say like they're more experts in the games at the games than they are than the person who's sponsored. I think that's what they're trying to say. Not necessarily pro, because you're right. Being a professional means, like you said, going to tournaments, getting paid and sponsored. So I think it's pretty much like they're using like the wrong choice of words.
right.
Because if they're obviously pro, they would, wouldn't be sitting here on YouTube talking. They'd be at MLG or something.
Very true, very true. I mean, like, damn, I lost my train of thought. Fuck. What was
Sorry
I gonna
about
say?
that.
No, it's all right, it's all right. It shit happens all the time. But you know, there's just people out there that just hate on professionals or whatever because they reach that status. And like, you know, from what I heard and things like that, like, being professional is very hard because it is like working a 9 to 5 job like at McDonald's or like, a bookkeeper or some shit like that, a teacher or something, because you have to put your work into that game so you stay on top and make sure that you're ready for the next tournament or the next event that happens.
Yes.
Because, God forbid, if the person loses, the sponsor be like, "Yo, man, this guy just waxed your ass. I'm about to sign him to my team so he can make put me on the map." So
Yeah.
being a pro is a very cutthroat business. The person you see on top can be on the bottom in a matter of seconds.
Yeah. Here today, going tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's pretty sad. But the thing is, people want the professionals want to get like gaming up there with sports, which I don't
Yeah.
mind. But if in order for that to happen, the the professionals going to have to, well, the pros themselves and the non-pro players are going to have to learn how to play nice with each other in a certain way. Because
Yeah.
if people don't, well, most people know that when people play in competitive gaming or anything like that, a
Yeah.
lot of anger and negativity comes out of there. I mean, there are some probably positive outlets, but majority of the time, I see a lot of negativity coming from competitive gameplay, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why most expert that people aren't pro do not play that, because they don't want to get to the negative side of becoming a pro.
Yeah. I do not blame them. But it was something you said that was like put me like that was very wise about it. Since since this is something new and they're trying to get it up there and it's not really stable and it's not really a set system yet, they get mad because they put all their stakes into this 9 to 5 job that's a very flimsy job.
Yeah,
And I remember you say they get angry because they put all this stuff in and they can pretty much lose everything if they
yeah,
don't do good in these games. That's why they get mad. But the fact that it is, but for me, how I feel is like you gotta remember at the end of the day, it's still a game, and shit's gonna happen whether you think it should or not. It's gonna
right.
happen.
Yeah,
I don't think a
you're
lot of
absolutely
games are
right.
made with. I don't think a lot of games are really made with accurate science like that. Obviously,
Of course, of
so
course. We'll name a few games right now, but that's not the point.
whew,
But
we'll be here all day, all night, or whatever,
that's
or maybe a
okay.
week or two. Oh man, Street
But
Fighter 4.
Marvel 3. I mean Ultimate, sorry. But anyway, but anyway, you're absolutely right. You know, at the end of the day, it is a game, and people have to take that into consideration that it is a game. It is just, and a game is for fun. But I guess people take that out of context because, like, like I said, it's their job. So if this guy Bob Joe is trying to take your money, your rent money in the Street Fighter tournament, you're gonna try to do whatever it takes to win. And obviously, yeah, you're gonna be salty and upset if you lose. But if this is the business that you want to go for, you should expect this to happen. Like, if I'm a pro player and I'm good or whatever, and I lose, I should expect to lose because it's like you said, it's a flimsy job. It's 50-50. You're taking a gamble. It's a risky job. Whereas, granted, you're not getting like basically your paycheck's not guaranteed. You know,
Yeah,
it's guaranteed only if you like make like top 8 or whatever in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not guaranteed. Like, if you're making like top 32, you're not gonna really see hardcore money like that. You might, I mean, like if you're in top 32, you're probably a semi-pro, and you have like maybe another job on the side or whatever like that. But like, if you really want to be up there with getting paid good money and stuff like that, you probably have to be on top 8 and stuff like that.
yeah,
And you know, I think that's where the saltiness comes from, because like I said, that's how you make your dough. That's how you get your money. So
frustration.
obviously, you're gonna be upset if you lose because maybe you couldn't buy that shoes or jacket that you wanted or whatever. I don't know. But like,
Yeah,
like people trying to take money out your pocket, and I truly understand that. But it's like a double edged sword because it's just a game. Like, you're taking it way out of control, and I think certain games weren't made for competitive play, in my opinion. Because if a developer or game developer or game company says, I'm making this game and I'm putting X, Y, and Z in this game, and somebody in the competitive circuit says that's too cheap, we're gonna have to extract that out. Then you're
yeah,
taking the fun out of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a
yeah,
game. That's like saying that's like in like Legend of Zelda when Link gets the Master Sword. It destroys enemies in one hit. Oh, that's too cheap. You can't use the Master Sword. You have to use your sub weapons to defeat all the enemies. What? Like, it was in the game for a reason. like that doesn't make any sense. If you're stripping certain parts of the game, then you're not making it a game. You're just turning into a half-ass game.
Definitely, I agree.
So like I just don't understand people and their saltiness and stuff like that. I understand that's your game and that's how you feel, and you know you main that game and you put so much time and effort into it, but you gotta have to expect some losses. You know, there's a couple of times where I have fought some people in Street Fighter and Marvel, and people do get really salty, real quick, real bad. To the point they don't want to talk to you. You're not on the mic anymore. And you want to say two words, or you hear niggas in the background.
Oh
That
yeah.
move is fucking cheap, man. That shit is gay. I fucking hate this guy and his character. Like it's ridiculous. And then your friend don't want to talk to you no more. Like, it's
Oh
ridiculous.
yeah, we've been there.
Like we're some bitches. Like we're women. We're grown ass men, man. It's a game. Just take it easy. And yes, I admit I have gotten salty at the game before. Trust me. There's a time when I was learning the arcade stick for Street Fighter 4. God, man, Ryu and Ken were my worst enemies, son. It was ridiculous. Dark times, man. Dark times, Leonis. I tell you, boy. I tell you,
Yeah, but we overcame. That's the
that's true.
most important part of it.
That's true. And there's other games people get salty at. For example,
Yeah,
there's people that get salty in Gears of War a lot. People get salty in Modern Warfare with the camping and things like that. And it's just like Gears. They use a sawed-off shotgun. That shit is mad cheap and mad gay. Well, it's like a lot of stuff. Uncharted 3 with its crazy fucking grenade tosses and shit, and melee and bastards. Like every game has its own BS, and people get mad at it because they can't beat it. And
yeah.
if you can't beat it, sometimes people just join it.
They take it too deep into head. Like if they lose, it's a tragedy.
It's true. You're absolutely right. And the funny part is they're not even pro. They're playing the game for fun and
Yeah.
they feel it's a tragedy. So, I mean, you're right. It's
And
crazy.
the
It
problem with the
really
pro,
is.
yeah, and the problem with the pros is it can be a tragedy. That's why the way the pro circuit is now, treat it like how you would treat like how there's a college you really want to go to, but your parents tell you have these backup plans, have these other colleges or career, have backup careers.
Right, of
It's like
course.
that.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to have a music career or something, you see how like a lot of people who have music careers, sports careers, or they act, they have backup plans just in case like these things don't fall out because they know the deal. They know that it's shaky.
Yeah. Because you could be here today and gone tomorrow.
Hmm.
Anything can happen, man. Like a new star can come out of the woodworks or something, and you're not the hot thing anymore. This guy is,
Yeah,
and it's good. It's sad. Like I said, the business
yeah,
is the competitive the pro circuit for gaming is a competitive industry, and they're always looking for new fresh meat.
yeah.
No homo, uh, to 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 play for them so they can get sponsored, so they can say, "Hey, man, be part of us because we're a good team."
Yeah, yeah. I think once like the pro circuit has like a proper foundation or a system, I believe things can be a little bit better. Like
I think so too.
it will be less flimsy is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because like I said, because like if you're a pro player, like I said, money's not guaranteed. But if it is up there, like if I turn on ESPN and I see MLG, like that's a good thing because now people are actually putting more money and they want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? There could be reporters down there and things like that. But the thing about that is, like I said before, that gamers are gonna have to get their act together and are gonna have to stop acting salty and be negative and be so negative
Most
because I
definitely.
feel that the competitive circuit has a lot of negativity towards it. A lot of negativity. Like, for example, I'm gonna ask you a question, Leonis. Do you think like shit talking, um, do you think it brings out competitive nature in people, in your opinion?
Well, usually when I hear shit talking, it's either to friendly like how our friend like DFWJ, he
Yeah,
he play shit talk. But most time when I see it, it's to put the person down or for somebody to be low, like they have all that misery in their chest or some shit.
right.
Didn't mean to curse.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, like yeah. For most part, I see it. When I see shit talk, it's either playful or to put people down. Like I don't really think it brings out the competitiveness, but that's just my opinion. Some people feel that it does, like it really riles them up.
Yeah,
But
get
for
some
the most
hype.
part, yeah. But for the most part, I really see it distracts them and throws them off their game more than anything. At least that's what
Do
I
you
see
think that?
mostly.
Do you think that shit talking and things like that is intent for so the opponent be like, man, I can't fucking focus no more. Like he's in my head, like to throw off your game so you're not at your best.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, they gonna people gonna do whatever they can to get up in that top eight.
I mean, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But you don't think it's right.
Nah, I don't think that's the way to go about it, because you know how. I, well, if you could do it like in a place like that, if you do it to them, it's gonna certainly happen to you as well.
Okay, because I have a good example. Like for example, like I don't know if you saw like seasons beating, not this year's, but I think last year's, where Daigo, where everybody kept saying like Daigo was sandbagging the match when he lost to like half of the U.S. players or whatever like that,
Yeah,
and people were chanting like USA, and everybody was like, oh, that's mad disrespectful, to say that to the beast or whatever. Y'all niggas be getting your ass kicked, blah blah blah. But to me, like that's not disrespectful. Like they're just
nah,
proud of their
yeah,
players
they're
just
rooting for
getting
their
hype.
team. They're rooting
Yeah,
for the
they're
whole
rooting for their
team.
team.
Of course,
You know what I'm
anybody do
saying?
that. Yeah,
But like, like I don't know, people just get confused with the whole things get misworded, people hear shit wrong and they just get upset, or maybe their favorite player's losing so they don't want to talk about it, like whatever. So I mean like there's a lot of factors into it about like negativity in competitive gaming and things like that. And I just truly feel that if the pro circuit wants to pick up to be like ESPN, then they're going to have to get their shit together and cut out that negativity. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of that saltiness, get rid of that anger and stuff. There can't be no fights at game tournaments and stuff. Can't be slapping arcade sticks on the floor. Like it has to be very professional. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree with you. It's a shame a lot of players don't see it like the karma of things, or the rule of whatever you put out, you're gonna get back in. So if the community ain't putting out, not putting is not putting anything out properly,
Yeah,
they're not gonna get back nothing properly. They're not gonna get that time, that what do they call it? That I guess that time frame on ESPN. They're not gonna get that if they're not doing anything properly.
yeah,
I know people don't. I know people say, "Oh, I don't believe in karma," but you got to see that stuff. It's a basic thing. Whatever you put out, you get back in.
that's very true.
Without any words, I mean, without using the word karma, that's a daily occurrence in life. Whatever you do, you get back in, and
Yeah.
they hopefully they see that soon enough. Without thinking like it's some type of thing that's all mystical or mythical. It's not. It's just the math. It's just the math of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the mathematics of life or existence or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you're right. Whatever you put out, that's what you get back. If you're an asshole, that's what you're gonna get back. You're gonna get asshole treatment. If you're nice to people, that's what you're
Yep.
gonna get. Nice treatment. And like you
Yep.
said, that's the rules of life. Karma's a
Yep.
bitch.
In the end, it all adds up. Everything always adds up to
Yeah,
something in the
very
end.
true. Very true.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, being a pro in gaming, it's not a bad thing. It's good. I mean, like what I'm saying. I'm all for pro gaming. To be honest, I really wish I was a professional gamer. But like I said, like we said before, it's a 50-50 chance. You're taking a 50 chance gamble that you may not be able to pay your rent this month, or you won't be able to support your family or whatever it may have be. And that's why I think why most people that are really good at the game, they're not professional because you know excuse me, they're not they don't want to take that 50-50 gamble, especially if they have a good job that they love and they have a house set up and stuff like that. Like what if they have to
Yeah.
go, like let's say if there's a tournament in California, you live in New York, you gotta scrounge up money to go all the way over there. You gotta pay for hotel and stuff like that. God forbid if it's not by the fucking airport, you gotta drive there and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a lot of things that factor into it.
Mhm.
One day probably go to a competitive tournament one day to feel the scene out, to see how it is. You know, I'm sure, I hope you would join me on this journey, Leonis.
Oh, no doubt. We definitely have to go. Hey, we should have hit up Apex with Bobby. I'm thinking about we might join him with that, but I don't know.
All right, sounds good.
uh,
It's another story. But I am looking for next year. I am looking forward to going to like a tournament. I don't know what tournament I'm going to go to, but it's going to be one of those major tournaments that people go to and things like that. Because I do want to see where my skills are at and things like that, and where I stand in the competitive nature of things like that. I want to see if I suck ass, if I'm okay, if I'm pretty good, things like that. But all in
I,
all, that's where my standing is of the whole situation.
okay. I'll definitely be there supporting you, bro. But you know me, I'd rather be an at-home expert than a pro. That's too much work for me, guys. Sitting planes, trains, automobiles to go all these different places.
Oh
Shoot,
man.
damn.
But
That
it's a
ain't
good
the life for
experience.
me.
But it's a good experience
I'm
though.
sure it is.
You
I'm
know,
sure it is.
I'm sure the smell's not good, but I'm sure overall it's a good experience because I know.
Are we talking about a place of game overs here?
Yes, yeah. I mean, not for nothing.
Hmm.
If you guys didn't notice that, didn't notice. If you guys didn't
Tell
know,
me.
me and Leonis, we went to in New York. There's a place called Game Over Sunday, where it's basically like a game out, a games like a games hangout spot. Like I guess you could say like a little arcade thing, but they have like various games from like shooters to fighters and stuff like that. Majority of it is fighters. So, but it's a cool place or whatever. It's really watered down now because of the theft and the smell and the fucking
Fights.
the fights, the immaturity and everything like that because of that. But overall, it was a cool spot to play games at and meet new people and stuff like that. Met a couple met a couple new people and stuff like that. Actually, we were actually talking to people that were actually pro professionals. Like his name is EMP Remix. He's actually a pretty cool guy. He's mad funny actually. There's this guy, I forgot his name. There was two people there. There was some Asian guy who played Akuma, and there was some other white guy. I think his name was Steve. He played Akuma. They're really good and they're semi pros and stuff like that. So it was really cool meeting new people, and they actually give you tips and saying, hey man, don't do this move because I could punish you with this. And that's what the community needs. Help one another, not fuck you nigga. I don't need your goddamn help. This kind of shit. So but yeah, that's basically it about the whole game over Sunday thing. But
Hmm.
as we're gonna wrap things up here, we're gonna give our closing statements. My closing statement on the whole subject is this: professional gaming is cool. I just hope that you know remember guys, if you're going for professional, that it's a 50-50 gamble, that you know you're taking a risk by doing this. So if you lose, it's on you. Don't be mad at your sponsors. Don't be mad at your friends. Don't be mad at the person that whipped your ass. Just be mad at yourself because you knew that coming into this that it's a cutthroat business and that you might not make top eight or might not get guaranteed or might not get money because money is not guaranteed in there. If the professionals or pro gaming wants to become like ESPN, they're gonna have to clean up their act with the negativity towards everything, and just gonna be have to be more professional about certain things. And then once they straighten up with that kind of thing, then I think I think pro gaming will be something like ESPN, and I hope one day it can be something like that because I would love to turn on the TV and see what's going on in like Modern Warfare and Gears and a whole bunch of other games and stuff like that.
Yep. Do better to get better.
Do you have any closing statements or want to say any last few words before we close it out, Leonis?
Well, my brother, you pretty much covered everything I probably was gonna say. That's why I guess I agree with you. In order to get better, you gotta do better.
All right. All right, guys. Well, this is Meb here, signing off with Leonis22 here. And this is our first episode of the discussion. Please, if you have any questions or you have any suggestions of what future shows we should do, please put it down in the comment box below. Um, Anything else we could work on. If we sound too low, we sound mad girly or whatever, we could fix it. Just let us know. Feedback. You know, don't be assholes about it. We won't block you like some YouTubers out there. I ain't gonna say no names, but I'm not gonna block you or anything like that. I will take constructive criticism or whatever. But this is Mev here,
Still on this 22.
and we're signing out. Have a good night, guys, or good morning.
All right. Peace and blessings to you all.